Raise your hands if you've ever played an FPS game. Now put your hands down if those games were competitive multiplayers. Although it may hardly seem like it nowadays, first-person shooters used to be much more than simple games where both children and grown adults yell at each other over the smallest mistake.
Guys, meet your mics real quick, guys. Trust me, just be real quick.
One would only have to look back to the early 2000s when FPS games were reaching their peak. Games that not only featured the basic shooting mechanics, but also a story to embark on. The three of you that have been around this channel since its prehistoric days may remember when I used to partake in Penguin Zero speedrun challenges. And one of these events was centered around the game known as Exodus from the Earth. A game in which I still hold the record for slowest recorded speedrun to date. Where 11 minutes in, I began learning how to b-hop from a CSGO tutorial. By the way, the dude under me is a sham. My run is literally over twice as long as his. Exodus from the Earth was a 2008 first-person shooter developed by Russian studio Parallax Art Studio and published by Canadian publishers Strategy First. It was also the last game they would ever develop before being snapped out of existence. When I saw this game was still chilling in my library, I couldn't help but wonder not only what the hell happened to its mom and dad, but also what the game was like to experience in its entirety. After all, I only actually played through like half of it, which is why I decided to sit here and truly analyze this masterpiece to immortalize it for the generations to come. But before we dive too deep into this game specifically, we need to first understand the history of Parallax Art Studios. What happened that led to the creation of this relic? No, your video is completely fine. You see, no matter how deep I searched, I just could not find anything concrete about this studio. Before anyone tries community noting me in the comments, Parallax Art Studios and the still running Parallax Studios are two separate entities. Either that or they moved on to film and refused to acknowledge Exodus's existence, including their other games. Because while I couldn't find anything regarding Parallax as a company, I did at least find some of their previous titles. The first was known as Utopia City, another simple first-person shooter that follows a story you'd get if you threw Wally and Sword Art Online into a mixing pot. The game didn't get the most glamorous of reviews during its time, but it did give us a tiny glimpse of what we could expect with Exodus. Their second game was known as Liquidator 2, Welcome to Hell.
Hey motherfucker, what you gonna do? Your bitches aren't here. Yeah, you ain't doing shit now, motherfucker.
Another simple shooter that I don't even think has a story. Now, I know some of you may be wondering, what happened to Liquidator 1? Well, in the ancient times of 1998, a certain little Russian studio known as Partisan Software may or may not have illegally developed and sold a first-person shooter with what I presume to have been stolen assets. Funnily enough, that game was published by Akela, who you may also know from the Postal series.
Hi there, would you like to sign my petition? Would you please sign my petition? Hi there, would you like to sign my petition?
The reason I didn't mention this a second ago was because there is no undeniable source, let alone sources, that connect Partisan to Parallax. However, we can make a very educated guess by looking at our evidence here. One studio creates Liquidator 1, the other creates Liquidator 2. They're both Russian, they both start with the letter P. There is also this one bit of information that I found on Moby Games. They claim that Parallax had been an authorized developer for big name tech companies before moving over to video game. Though I again could not find a single other source that corroborates this piece of lore. Although while Parallax may be a distant memory, its co-developer and publisher Strategy First still exists to this day, though just barely. By 2004, it found itself in quite a hefty amount of debt before having to file for a type of bankruptcy. I could not tell you which it was. Although reports claimed it was Chapter 11 protection, the head of Strategy First came out to publicly state that was bogus, as Canada doesn't even recognize Chapter 11 filing. Whatever it may have been, they just had no money and were subsequently purchased by Silver Star Holdings. Nowadays, it sits as a simple marketplace that sort of looks like GOG, but still only sells you a temporary license as displayed on their terms of service. It also kind of sounds like I wouldn't even be allowed to publicly display their games on YouTube. But even if it was right, a masterpiece such as Exodus isn't even recognized on this site. How dare they try rewriting history? Anyways, now that we have this small and very lacking history out of the way, let's take a look at the main subject of this video, Exodus from the Earth. To start off, what I find pretty funny is that the title, which refers to the act of exiting the Earth, is actually pretty pointless to the story. No spoilers just yet, but in this game, there are a total of 3 characters that we actually see exodus from the Earth. Also, I know this game is like 16 years old, but I still have the right to complain about 2 of its most annoying issues. The first made me quit the challenge back when it was still ongoing, other than my lack of skill. I'm not exactly sure what causes it, but after playing the game for some time, it suddenly forces itself into the lowest possible resolution, 800 by 600. You can't change it in the settings since the option just disappears, and reinstalling the game doesn't fix it either. I only found out while recording my gameplay that I had to manually edit the resolution in the game's files to fix this issue. The second issue has to do with the audio. For some reason, there's this static white noise always present in the background that also increases volume with the audio. At some point you get used to it, but it is still quite annoying. It's so strange too because the multiplayer mode doesn't have that issue. Speaking of multiplayer, it's basically like browsing private servers, similar to how it was done back in the good old days I wasn't really a part of. Though I doubt a single match has ever been started in this game's history. The game is set in a world where the sun has expanded far beyond what the Earth is capable of handling. Our protagonist, Frank, no last name, is called in by Christopher Columbus, who has a task for him. They both watch as cult leader Frisbee yaps about vaccines meant to save us from the sun's unstable heat. We then learn that the government is ready to release a full report endorsing Frisbee's words, despite being nonsense, mainly thanks to his position as head of the AX Corporation, basically this world's Amazon.
Frisbee's not an idiot. He's the head of the AX, the largest space research company. Our sources confirm his words, Frank. The sun is very unstable and will soon destroy everything. The Earth has only 20 years, Frank. 20 years.
Our mission is to stop Frisbee before he becomes even more powerful through his quote-unquote life-saving vaccine. We need to find a secret formula to determine and investigate reports from an AX whistleblower that claims they've also found an Earth-like planet that can sustain life. In order to begin our journey, we need to meet with our inside man, Mike Sullivan, who will help us into the main AX office.
They say the end of the world is coming, and we hardly even know each other.
You'd rather not listen to such bullshit.
Access verification. Look into the retina scanner. Francis Rickson, what's the reason of your visit?
Kidnapping of John Frisbee and holding him for ransom.
A little interesting note about this first area is that there's a glitch that literally allows you to skip half the game. If I'm not mistaken, it basically abuses how the game's physics reacts when the elevator's on the move. Either way, the actual first objective was to meet our boy Mike alone by baiting out the people inside his room. Mike informs us that the office sector has been completely blocked, with the only way inside being an alternative tunnel route. However, we first need to find the access card he hid inside a dumpster, with these 2 stooges to help guide me.
The entrance to the services room is there. You'll knock down the locks with this axe. Try not to excite the security.
What the hell are you doing there?
Nothing? Oh shit!
What have you done? You killed him, idiot!
Man, shut the fuck up! I'll kill you too. Right off the bat, we're introduced to the most annoying mechanic of the game. The fact that, despite doing hardly any damage, every enemy in this game has actual aimbot with the fire rate of a machine gun. Thankfully, they only have pistols for now, but this will get even more annoying as we progress further. No, I promise it's not a skill issue. After retrieving the keycard from the dumpster and quickly tapping these useless cards, I can make my way down to the facility's tunnels through the vents and into this fusion reactor room. This is where we're given our first real weapon, a shotgun. It's honestly fine. Like, it's not strong nor is it weak. This is also where we find the access card, which we'll use later. Past the reactor room is the melting workshop, and dear lord, I cannot stress how tedious this area is. Not only do guards with assault rifles spawn out of thin air. Who's shooting me?
2/3 of mine.
Too many people are shooting me. Too many people are shooting me. Too many people are shooting me. Oh my god. But also, I couldn't figure out where to go. Like, I quickly figured out that I had to turn off the security to enter this once blocked off room to move some contraption, but that was about it. I thought maybe I had to take this cart down here since this and the screen's object looked pretty similar, but no. After running around aimlessly for another 5 minutes, I accidentally stumbled upon this unassuming metal floor, which was actually an elevator. Sure, maybe it was a skill issue, after all it's highlighted in a yellow square, but I can still complain that it's hard for me to analyze the floor while also taking back shots from every single fucking angle. It doesn't matter how many enemies you kill, they'll continue to respawn. Anyways, I can take the elevator, run through the next couple of corridors, and end up at the most annoying warehouse in the world. Almost immediately, I got lost thinking that I had to progress down this long platform, only to find that it leads to a dead end. Instead, I had to break this wooden box to enter the main sewer area. After exploring for like 3 seconds, I got slapped around. Oh my god! Before reaching this laser parkour section. All you have to do is avoid them, but it's a lot easier said than done. What? Bitch. Okay. Wait, I'm huge. What? Yep. Finally. I see him. Oh, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop, please. Now, I did find out I could have just destroyed them, but I also found a way to mess that up. After passing through the red lasers, you're meant to disable these blue lasers to escape through the hatch. However, the game doesn't tell you what needs to be done, and I, for love of God, had so much trouble figuring it out. I continued down this corridor because obviously where else would you go, and ended up getting lost. Oh my god, where am I? This is where I came from. Why am I back here? I pulled out a walkthrough, which didn't help because the guy I was watching literally quit the game after getting stuck on this exact same area. I then started backtracking. Oh my... Well, I found it. And finally found the panel that switched off the security system. It was literally on the way to the hatch. So why in the ever-loving fuck did these developers create an entire section of the map that served zero purpose? I just cannot fathom the possible answers. Anyways, after exiting through the hatch, wow, I can put to rest that almost hour-long level and move on to Hot Place. Now, on its own, this level is pretty easy. Run to the second floor, use this ladder to jump onto the rails and over to the other side, turn off the security system, and drop down this hatch. However, there are obviously a shitload of guards. After making our way through the remaining corridors, we now find ourselves in the AX building's office sector. In here is a door with 2 keyholes, which we can't open because... well, obviously, and an entire arsenal we can use to reload for the upcoming boss fight against Mark Selden. Mark has an entire speech which can basically be summarized into, "We caught your ass in 4K and now I have to kill you, lol." This fight is very simple. Kill the small wave of enemies, blow up the turrets, and repeat until his force field goes down.
Oh shit!
I mean, it's an FPS game, so I really don't know what I was expecting. Though I do have to say, this fight can actually get slightly annoying as you only have a set amount of explosives. So if you're anything like me and have the aim of a geriatric man on ketamine, you kind of have no choice but to die sometimes. Anyways, after the fight, we have to run over to the security camera room to delete our footage. This is where our little pal Mike pops in out of left field to make use of his expert hacking skills. With the help of Mike, we can now open the locked door from earlier and let him continue hacking as we protect him. He informs us that Frisbee has run off to the AX planet to extract some kind of unnamed mineral. We also learn that they've been developing a secret weapon known as Project Zero and have already shipped like 1 million to the planet. Our job is to now use the Cosmoport, basically just a spaceship, to reach the AX planet and wring Frisbee dry of information. In order to reach the ship, we have to exit the building and take the car Mike so gracefully prepared for us. I honestly honestly thought they'd just let me leave through the front door, but then that'd be too easy. Instead, I had to run back the exact same way I came in, though this time with even more enemies blocking my path, and oh my god, not again. The first portion of this reused area is just running through everything until we reach this broken gas valve. Honestly, I didn't know how else to get past this except parkouring my way over it. I do think this was intended, like I can't imagine what else you were meant to do if blowing it up wasn't an option. Same with the next area, where after running through more enemies, I reached this pipe that acted as a barrier, so I just hopped right over it. Like, is it considered bad game design when you make the player feel as though they're breaking your game despite playing it correctly? Or am I just a bit slow? Actually, I think it's the latter, because dear god, this next part is the most embarrassing moment in my 15 years of gaming. So after running through more enemies, who would have guessed, I reached a dead end with an interactable object hidden on the other side. Although I ignored it at first, thinking it was just like some healing, I saw that the door right behind me was locked via a key card. It took me a minute, but I realized that the interactable object back here was in fact said card. I just had to figure out how to get over this barrier. I tried almost everything from straight parkour to building a fucking staircase, which was harder than it needed to be, but nothing seemed to work. Even when I was in the perfect position to get over, I hit what was clearly an invisible wall. I cannot tell you how absurdly long it took for the synapses in my brain to click and realize I could have just grabbed the card from the sewers. To add insult to injury, at some point during my search, I literally ran all the way back to the start and saw the card right in front of me. I just don't know how it didn't click then. Anyways, the absolutely humiliating experience aside, we're now able to go through the door and out into the container jungles. This level was pretty simple. Find the key card, move the crane, and use a newly raised container to reach the 3rd floor. From there was more running around and praying to god you don't die from the outrageous spawn points this game conjures up. After running through all of that, we reach the elevator which we can take up to the top floor. However, we find that it had been sabotaged, forcing Frank to fall 20 feet to his doom. He falls unconscious and I guess dreams about a beach. As he basks in the sunlight, we get asked a philosophical question before seeing time accelerate to 2062, where climate change has already gotten out of hand. To be honest, I have no idea what the hell is going on here. Like, was this supposed to be some sort of message informing the player about the effects of climate change? Well, that clearly was pointless. Like, the scene is actually a one-off thing. It never gets brought up, let alone mentioned, so it just to me feels kind of pointless. Anyways, Frisbee violates us with his eyes before Frank's Nokia brick phone ringtone wakes us up to a burnt underground bunker. Because of the cutscene that just played, I honestly thought we transported like 60 years into the future, but after reaching the end of the bunker, Mike informs us that we just slipped into the 17th transport workshop.
Hey Frank, you been tripped? I arranged the access to the video camera. Seems to me you've fallen into the 17th transport workshop.
Yeah, I'm sure we just slipped on a little banana peel. There's nothing interesting about this area besides a key card and my lack of brain cells. After using the card, we can move into the main building once again and watch the best cutscene this game has to offer.
I guess we should cut the blue one.
The blue is a branch. Auto guns will hang and you're gonna be roasted.
There's a branch everywhere. There's red, and this is blue. I say cut the blue one.
Can we transfer power to the reserve circuit?
That's it, idiot. Cut the wire.
Shit, this is a branch.
Oh, shit. I've got nothing to do here.
Now, in order to progress into the next area, we need to find the keycard to this door. For those of you that have never played this game, I would confidently bet 5 million Exodus bucks you cannot guess where this keycard is. The game doesn't give you a hint, and it's not left out in the open like it has been previously. Instead, they place this card behind a sliding poster. Who in their right minds thought that would be a good idea? This is the first and only time it's ever hidden like this. Even Dora the fucking Explorer would have had trouble finding this thing. Anyways, I just really need to get that off my chest. Let's move on. In the next room, we can open the shutters and activate the robots to literally kill every innocent underpaid worker in the room. Remind me again, who's the villain? This cutscene honestly goes on for way too long. It's literally just a montage of people dying over and over again. But now it's my turn.
Attention, a violator in the area. 02, turn on power to the 3rd and 4th.
Pussy.
You're running fast. Damn the video recording 100 million
Wait, already?
down the drain because of the fucking computer.
Huh. Shit.
Wow, what a runner you are.
Oh my god.
Oh shit. You know how many nerves this jalopy cost me? Bastard.
Oh, I got him. That was pretty easy.
Test area security system has been activated.
Now I'll shoot.
Fuck. Wait, I'm not getting
in
covered.
your last will and testament.
Oh my god, I need to scope in. Jesus, even with scoping in, my aim is awful. Okay, but I'm starting to think it doesn't do anything.
Damn it! I'm quitting. Go on. Have a good time, bastard.
Alright, thanks. Again, another pretty underwhelming boss fight, if you want to call it that. I mean, again, I'm not expecting a Souls level fight, but at least one that's a bit more entertaining than this. Shit, if Call of Cthulhu can do it, then so could Exodus. I also get that I'm running easy mode, but I'm almost 100% positive that hard mode would just mean that they do more damage and have more health, which would be a real shit show considering I'll still only have a limited amount of explosives. As we make our way out of there, we run into none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Wazowski.
Mike?
Ah, Frank, you're just in time. Glad to see you alive.
Thanks. Me too. Well, what's up here?
Oh, well, you stirred up a hornet's nest. The security system is extremely sensitive.
I think it'll be difficult to leave this place.
And it would have been even more difficult if I hadn't reprogrammed the computer's memory block.
Is it really so easy?
Yeah, but I need to install it here. Help me get it.
I hear something. Checking it out.
Mike.
Frank, it's close.
Mike, no!
I got 1-3. Opening. It's him.
Oh, fuck off, bastards! How are you, Mike?
Forget it. Hurry up. Go save the universe.
But how?
Yeah, you'll cope with it. Just find the fucking memory block.
I'll find it. And I'll find those who set you up.
I'm sorry, but I need to quickly atone for my sins. I laughed when I saw him get tapped like that. It literally caught me so off guard that I just found it funny. In order to avenge our boy, we have to find and replace the memory block, which is just chilling on the 3rd floor. I tried doing this next step speedrunner style, but the game just wasn't having it. After placing it in the server room, we're now able to exit the building through the same route as earlier. Only this time there's more security. Hell, they're even taking out their own guards. Rest in peace to the two Stooges. I'm not going to lie, the spawn points in this level are outrageous. Sometimes they're inside the containers, sometimes they're around the corner, sometimes behind you, sometimes above you. Like, they don't even give you a second to breathe either. They start blasting the moment they see so much as a hair. They literally pre-fire like their paychecks depend on it. And it really doesn't help that the recoil in this game is atrocious. Needless to say, it took me a minute to lock in. After finally killing them all, I can move on to this gas-infected room. I might have needed to turn the gas off, but I just did not care anymore and walked straight through it. Then it's back to more shooty bang bang. This next area was where I spent a hot minute trying to learn how to B-hop. It saves about a minute or so since you no longer have to swim, but I just still cannot get it. I assume it was already patched out of the game. If anyone says skill issue, you're instantly getting banned. After grabbing the key card, making my way to the garage, and hopping in my whip, it was now time for the sort of twisted metal, though not really, portion of the game, where all I have to do is speed and shoot my way through everything and everyone to get out of this dump, while also periodically getting out of the car to open the gates. Honestly, it's kind of a vibe killer, but not much I can do about it. During the open road driving, there's this barrier that I'm sure is meant to be turned off on foot, but I just used the strat of using the rocks beside it as a ramp. It's much cooler like this anyways. At least when it works. Another speedrun strat that I pulled off, which I swear was accidental, was at this broken down dam. I think the intended method was to go down this hole, but I just didn't know that. I didn't know, however, to use the car as a stepping stool to climb up the scaffolding, jump out of bounds, and just parkour my way around. It's the same thing anyways. This next room is mostly just running around and shooting everything in sight, but there is a strat that allows you to just no clip through the ceiling. But that misses out on the Giga Chad method of scanning yourself into the metaverse, then taking another broken elevator to the ground floor and out the exit. To be honest, I kind of wish I took the speedrun route of just driving over the mountains here, because this road is so damn long and there's like nothing to do in it. It's just driving in a straight line until you reach the next barrier, which was tedious to disable for no reason. In order to get rid of this barrier, you have to destroy the generators protected by these force fields. I thought that to disable these fields, I'd have to flip a switch inside this building, but no, these are purely cosmetic. I thought that I could just walk or maybe shoot through the only white barrier, but neither worked. I thought that maybe I had to swim across the ocean, but that wasn't it either. I was too stubborn to just look up a walkthrough, so I literally sat here for like 20 minutes trying to figure out something, when I finally learned that the white barriers don't block grenades. However, even after blowing up the generator, the force fields were still all the same, so I was stuck yet again. After another year of aimlessly doing nothing, I caved in and just pulled up a walkthrough. Turns out, I bet you guys would have never guessed this, you could just drive through the white barriers as normal. Like, oh my god, the disappointment I felt was immeasurable. Through the barrier is an RV where, after interacting with it twice, we can change the blue barriers to white, and after destroying every generator, with the last couple forcing me to hit an NBA level trick shot, I could finally move on. After another little pointless drive, we find ourselves at this warehouse with a path leading us to the other island. Now, I'll be completely honest, I have no idea what the intended method here was. I just used my car to hop over the fence. At the bottom of this warehouse dockport thing, whatever, there's a bridge I can take to casually ride my way over while also having to eat bullets from the enemy plane above. I honestly wonder if they would still have blown up even if I didn't shoot them. Now, after a little more empty road driving, we'll reach this impenetrable wall held up by a crane. I could actually hop right around it with save strats, but I'm no coward. Instead, I just went around like a normal person, moved the crane, and went right back around to get in my car. Funnily enough, I almost didn't know I could move the crane and just continued through the rest of the level on foot. At the end of this road is a satellite area separated by a small bridge. For some reason, I thought I could just use one car to ramp the other car over a small barrier here. But would you be surprised if I told you it didn't work? Past the bridge and into the bottom area, I found a rocket launcher I could use to take down another enemy ship before just killing the dude chilling on top of the satellite.
Oh, shit! No way! No!
Now we can cut the power to the barrier and move over to the final area of Earth, the launch site. There's nothing really special about this area, it's just killing enemies, clicking 2 buttons, and getting on the ship. So we'll just run through all of that and move over to Frank actually launching off into space. It's never explicitly stated where exactly this AX planet is located, but I do think it's Jupiter. It kind of looks like it from this wide shot. Either way, the plane must have been sabotaged, or Frank just doesn't know how to fly one, causing us to lose control and crash land in the middle of their little empire, or whatever the hell they built here. Thankfully, our boy Frank brought his parachute and was able to safely make his way down. I seriously don't know why I found this shot so funny. My sense of humor has been permanently damaged. I also just wanted to add that the speedrun texts in this portion of the game are absolutely outrageous. Like, I cannot follow what the hell is going on. Mans is just flying everywhere, probably even ascending to heaven in his own mind. And this is the point where the static noise was suddenly amped to about like 10 million decibels because of Frank's constant breathing and heartbeat. At some point, I heard it so much that I started ignoring it, but Jesus Christ, it is still so annoying. Anyways, the first portion of this area is actually quite stupid, if I have to say so myself. There are these blue barriers locked behind a keycard. So your immediate guess is, oh, I have to find that card. No, instead you have to do 2 sets of parkour, one of which extremely annoying, until you can grab both the assault rifle and shotgun sitting in the boxes. After which a cutscene will play of the 7 dwarves marching their way inside and spawning these containers. After blowing up up said containers, the barrier is dropped and you can move on. Honestly, this is all pretty stupid, especially when I consider the fact that I almost gave up on the parkour because of how tedious it was. By the way, the keycard from earlier is actually inside this cave, so there really was no other way of getting in. Now we can make our way over to our ship's crash landing, which is of course being surveyed by the corporation. In order to get past this area, we have to unlock this door by solving a puzzle. To be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea how to actually solve this. I simply kept clicking randomly until all the hexagons glowed yellow. A win is a win. The next couple of areas are pretty simple walkthroughs. There's really nothing interesting to talk about except for the fact that I accidentally got stuck on this weapon locker, and while trying to reload my save, the game crashed. Anyways, after entering the new AX Corporation's AX building on the AX planet, we can shoot an innocent worker to install a new memory drive. I don't know why we didn't just hold him hostage, but oh well. Past this room is another hardening plant where, after grabbing another keycard, I can open up another walkthrough because I couldn't figure out what to do after 20 minutes. Turns out I just had to turn this valve down here, which I still struggled with. Fast forward a couple more areas, and now Frank barges into an office space, takes out another minimum wage employee, disrespects him further by drinking his soda before hacking into the mainframe database. The computer basically spits out a bunch of mumbo jumbo that can be summarized as: the vaccines mentioned in the beginning are addictive drugs, even more powerful than nicotine it sounds, and also leads to certain death.
The clinical treatment of addiction is impossible. Maintenance of vital energy is possible through vaccine injections.
Oh my lord.
Unknown inquiry. Try again.
Shut up. Where's the transmitter?
Honestly, the most gentle computer slam I've ever seen. Frank activates the transmitter to send a signal back to Christopher Columbus. Hope you haven't forgotten about this character, I know I sure did. He lets us know that the Earth-like planet has officially been located and they plan on sending ships to prepare for the colonization. Colonizing a planet that probably already has life. Can you see why I named him Columbus? He gives us one final order to stop the vaccine development and mineral extraction, or else Frisbee is going to throw the vaccine to the black market. Hold on just a second.
You must stop the vaccine development and the mineral extraction. If you do this officially, we're risking of losing time, and Frisbee will throw the vaccine on the black market.
I thought Frisbee was developing said vaccine to save the Earth from the imploding sun, so why would he even need the black market? Man's probably gonna get permission to sell this bitch at your local CVS. Also, you're telling me that the planet we're currently on is not the planet they've been looking for?
They managed to transmit the location coordinates of this planet to us before they were shot from the orbit. We've got the coordinates of the Earth-like planet, Frank.
What the hell do they need another planet for? They have this literal perfect one right here. Yeah, everybody will need an oxygen mask to breathe, but like sacrifices have to be made. Anyways, Frank comes to the conclusion that they have to create an enormous explosion to basically wipe out the entire corporation, while Columbus sets up a plan for his safe evacuation. More walking aside, we find ourselves in a central mine where, after finding the code written on this locker, my game decided to prevent me from entering it. I really don't know what was going on or even how to resolve it. It just like fixed itself. Inside this room are mines I can set up around the facility and explode after confronting Frisbee. Between here and the final battle is a warehouse area where I thought I accidentally jumped out of bounds because this floor is completely empty. It looks like an unfinished area, and my method of getting in here surely didn't help ease my mind either. But actually, this floor was required as it allows us to reach the controls of the screen. After playing around with them for a little bit, I can start the game's third boss fight against two Goliath suits sitting in the garage. This fight, just like the last, is actually very easy and simple. All you have to do is throw grenades and hide behind cover. There also is a rocket launcher sitting at the back that you can use, but I completely forgot about it until after the fight was already over. Now I can move over to the halls, grab this keycard, and initiate the final confrontation with the one and only Illuminati cult leader. He reveals Project Zero, which is some skull-faced robot that kind of looks like the bomber from Left 4 Dead 2, and that Frank has been lied to this entire time. That this secret Earth-like planet does not and never has existed and was actually fabricated by Columbus to take out Frisbee specifically. Columbus hacks into the system somehow, and now Frisbee goes on an entire monologue before delivering the most cliche line I've ever heard.
Frisbee? Bye, Frisbee. You lost.
You think I can give up so easily, bastard? I hold all the aces. You're insane, Southgate. I'm saving mankind and just asking for a minor payment for this power. Do I deserve such an award? Unlike you, I'm working very hard rather than making up mythical Earth-like
I've already got
planets.
its location coordinates. Frank, finish with him. The reactor will soon explode.
The reactor? You idiot! You'll initiate the chain tectonic reaction. The whole planet will fly to bits. I'll have to teach you and your trained dog a lesson. Die, Frank!
He sets Project Zero to extermination mode, and now it's time to finish this game once and for all. Temper your expectations though. If you think this fight is going to be intense, you're about to be severely disappointed. So, is the robot coming? Oh no, there he is. Oh fuck! Ah! Where's the intense music? This shit is like so weak. Let's try to get on top of it this time. Huh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Open the hatch or something. Oh shit. Oh wow, that's what you're supposed to do. I definitely didn't look up a guide for that. Come in. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Ah, close it. Do something. Break him. I don't know. What did I just do? Close. Oh my god. Close it. Why isn't it closing? Why isn't it closing? Oh, there we go. Oh, was that all I need to do? He just gave up. Ah, wait. Foreshadowing. If there's no one in line of sight, they die. Or they just don't know what to do. Good foreshadowing. I have to go back.
It's impossible.
Bravo, Frank. But I'm surprised you're alive. I came here right after you. While you were passing through the complex, I was keeping my eyes on both you and Crisby. When you established the connection, I could get into the complex security system quietly and secretly.
What does this mean? Was I just a red herring?
That's it. Look, I needed the vaccine chemical formula. Crisby told the truth. There is no Earth-like planet. The data I had received from that group was only the coordinates of one more planet where the mineral is located. I only needed the formula, and here it is.
It's all about power?
Of course. Could I let such a half-wit like Crisby have this chance? Now I lead the exodus from the Earth. I will be the new Noah, the king of the epoch, the Lord.
Well, I guess you don't need a witness.
Right. I've readjusted the bomb to my cardio code. When I fly away, the signal will stop and the reactor will explode. It was nice to deal with you, Frank. I'm nearly sorry.
Boss, what if you die? Will everything be blown sky high?
You are a dreamer, Frank. But, in fact,
well,
yes.
I'm also nearly sorry.
What the absolute fuck was that? Unironically, one of the best, worst ending cutscenes I've ever seen. The dialogue sounded as though it went through a single pass of Google Translate. A plot twist somehow even more confusing and meaningless than who killed Captain Alex. Like you're telling me Frisbee survived a point blank shot with no armor, and you're telling me he had a second Project Zero he just happened to be saving on his side of the force field, either I guess in case Frank ended up winning the fight, or he decided the debt from building a useless empire was too much to handle. And the final shot of Frank running away, despite the entire facility exploding into bits. He literally just ran further down the hall. Like, where did he jump to? The bottom of the stairs? Even if he did somehow survive the explosion, he doesn't have a gas mask in hand anymore. Frank is 100% canonically dead. I also wanted to mention that the credits include what I assume to be the staff's nicknames or gamer tags alongside their real names, and although some seem normal, others were a bit interesting. Like, some of them are cool, like Majiku. The other one's just Rick and Ant. You tell me Max 3D did the 2D designs? Anyways, let's summarize the story we just witnessed. The sun was about to destroy the earth, causing one man to create a vaccine that would basically give him total control over the world. We're called to investigate said vaccine's formula and the corporation as a whole. We spend the entire game even sacrificing our beloved Mike Wazowski, doing our job, even fighting fucking robots, only for absolutely none of it to matter. Because we get betrayed by our employer and everyone dies anyway. So in the end, absolutely nobody won except for the US government, who can now just take over Frisbee's entire operation, or at least what's left of it. If I had to rate this game, I'd give it a nice 4 out of 10, simply because the cutscenes and dialogues gave me a good laugh some of the times. The gameplay was awful though. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the developers pretty much disappeared immediately after dropping this title. I can only assume it was due to the fact that the game didn't sell all too well. According to VG Insight, the game sold roughly 12,000 units to this day, which I guess comes out to an estimated revenue of $112,000. Though according to Game Sensor, it actually made a gross revenue of $80,000 with a total of 7,000 owners. So who actually knows which of these numbers are accurate, unless they were both made up for dramatic effect or they were pumped because of the speedrun challenge. I also wanted to mention that there has been one other absolute giga chad that is actively grinding this game day and night. Bro still thinks that $10,000 speedrun challenge is still going on. Before we end off this video, I wanted to quickly announce two funny little things. One, after only a month and a half, I've dropped out of college. I'm not going to go into much detail and just say I'm ready for the endless 9-to-5 lifestyle, baby. Second, I am actually writing my first book, a fantasy novel more specifically. Some would say I'm the next Tolkien just without any of the skill. I'll make an official announcement once it's complete. It'll probably be free to read on Wattpad or something. I haven't figured out the publishing aspect just yet. I kind of want to finish the story first. Anyways, that's about all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, and check out my second channel, steve.mp3. There is currently only one video on there, but I am working on a second. It's a bit long though, so it's going to take a while. Hopefully this game's sequel, Return of the Exodusy, is released to the public very soon. But until then, ciao ciao.